Nearly 500 people were arrested at a factory run by two of South Korea's largest companies, Hyundai and LG Energy Source. Most of them were foreigners and hundreds of them were South Koreans. This is certainly not what the South Koreans signed up for, working in the US and unexpectedly being detained. We know that they had consular services and perhaps access to their medication, but we don't know a lot of detail yet. What were the exact conditions, how they fared behind bars, but we are likely to learn this as they make their way back to South Korea.
Many of those individuals that were detained through that operation in Georgia, we are following the law. They are going to be deported. A few of those had criminal activity beyond just being here past final removal orders, and they will face the consequences for that.
We're not exactly clear under what conditions these South Koreans were allowed to leave. If they were deported, that's akin to a travel ban for years and possibly many years. If they were to voluntarily leave, that comes with some strings attached. Often it requires an admission of guilt, and that means you cannot qualify for visa-free travel, and getting a business visa would be very complicated.
Stop! Crackdown!
The mood in South Korea toward the U.S. had a quick pivot after this raid. We were on a bit of a high between South Korea and U.S. relations. The president, Lee Jae-myung, had just been to the White House, and things were very cordial. There had been a trade pact struck between the two countries that mirrored what we had seen from Japan and the European Union. And then this raid happens, and South Koreans, from politicians to the newspapers to citizens in the street, felt not only fear but anger. Seoul dispatched its foreign minister to Washington, D.C. He met Marco Rubio on Wednesday. South Korea had a lot to say about the detained South Koreans and potential solutions to create special types of visas for the country. The U.S., meanwhile, talked about the strong alliance between the two countries, but made no mention of the arrests. This will have a chilling effect, certainly in the short term. We'll have to see on the long term. So we are aware of a variety of South Korean companies pulling workers out, sending them back home. That's caused any number of construction projects to be halted. Longer term, it's going to be difficult to unravel what's tens and tens of billions of dollars that South Korean companies have bet on the U.S. I think what we see now is a bit of confusion and uncertainty around the legality of some of these workers. The site at the center of the raids is a crown jewel of South Korean investments in the U.S. It's jointly operated by Hyundai Motor and LG Energy Solution, two of South Korea's biggest conglomerates. This not only affects what Georgia officials say is their state's largest manufacturing investment ever, but it also affects how deep-pocketed South Korean conglomerates might think about all of their projects across the U.S. and what visas they're on and how protected their workers might be.